I have warned you several times to be careful with Janet, but you haven't been listening to me.
Why do you hate her so much?
Haven't you learned from what she has done to you? She keeps begging you, and you keep forgiving her, but she hasn't changed. Don't let her destroy your life.
Give me a reason why I should disconnect myself from her. And what type of people am I supposed to disconnect from?
There are 5 types of people you should disconnect from. I'm not saying you should hate them, but you must distance yourself to protect your destiny.
Number 1. Secret competitors.
In life, one of the most dangerous relationships you can have is with a secret competitor, someone who outwardly appears to support you but, in reality, is competing with you behind the scenes. These individuals may present themselves as friends, colleagues, or even mentors, but their true intentions are far from genuine. They are driven by envy, insecurity, or an unhealthy desire to be ahead of you, often going to great lengths to undermine you while pretending to celebrate your success. At first, their actions may not be obvious. They may clap for you when you achieve something, offer advice when you are struggling, and even appear to be your biggest cheerleader. However, if you pay attention, subtle signs begin to emerge. They always try to one-up your achievements, they withhold crucial information that could help you grow, or they suddenly grow distant when you excel in an area they secretly covet. They may even discourage you from pursuing opportunities that could elevate you, not because they genuinely care, but because they fear you might outshine them. The Bible gives us a powerful example of secret competitors in the story of Saul and David. Saul initially welcomed David into his palace and even made him a leader in his army. However, when David began to gain favor in the eyes of the people, especially after he defeated Goliath, Saul's hidden envy was exposed. The women of Israel sang, "Saul has slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s, 1 Samuel 18:7. Instead of rejoicing in David's victory, Saul became furious. He saw David as a threat rather than an ally, and from that moment, he secretly plotted against him. This is exactly how secret competitors operate. They may not attack you outright, but they will subtly try to slow your progress. They might spread doubts about your abilities, manipulate situations to keep you dependent on them, or secretly rejoice when you face setbacks. The danger of having such people close to you is that their disguised opposition can be more harmful than an open enemy's attack.
Number 2. Voice killers.
One of the greatest weapons the enemy uses to stop people from fulfilling their purpose is voice killers, those who discourage you from pursuing your calling and make you doubt yourself. These people can come in different forms: a friend who constantly dismisses your dreams, a family member who reminds you of your limitations, or even a mentor who subtly suggests that you are not good enough. Their words, spoken in moments of vulnerability, can plant seeds of doubt that slowly erode your confidence and silence the voice of purpose inside you. At first, voice killers may seem well-meaning. They might say things like, "Are you sure this is the right path for you? Many people have tried and failed. What makes you different? Or maybe you should aim for something more realistic." Their words might come wrapped in concern, but deep down, their purpose is to make you question what God has placed inside you. Some do this out of jealousy, while others project their own fears onto you because they couldn't step out in faith themselves. A powerful example of a voice killer in the Bible is Eliab, David's eldest brother. When David arrived at the battlefield where Goliath was challenging the Israelites, he was filled with faith and asked questions about fighting the giant. But instead of encouraging him, Eliab said, "Why camest thou down hither? And with whom hast thou left those few sheep in the wilderness? I know thy pride, and the naughtiness of thine heart, for thou art come down that thou mightest see the battle." 1 Samuel 17:28. Eliab tried to belittle David's calling by reminding him that he was just a shepherd boy. He accused David of being prideful and suggested that he was not qualified to fight. If David had listened to his brother's words, he would have walked away from the battlefield and missed his destiny. But instead, David ignored him and stepped forward in faith to defeat Goliath. This is what voice killers do. They try to shut you down before you even start. They make you feel unworthy, incapable, or too small for the vision God has given you. If you're not careful, their words will become internalized, and you will start doubting yourself, delaying your destiny, or even giving up entirely.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Number 3. Gossipers.
Gossipers are among the most dangerous people to have in your life. They are those who talk about you behind your back, spread rumors, and twist facts to create a false narrative about you. They operate in secrecy, pretending to be your friend while using your personal information as a source of entertainment for others. Gossipers thrive on drama and division, and their words can be more destructive than physical attacks. The most painful part is that they often pretend to care about you, only to turn around and share your struggles, mistakes, and even your success with others, not to celebrate you, but to bring you down. The Bible strongly warns against gossip and its consequences. Proverbs 16:28 says, "A froward man soweth strife, and a whisperer separateth chief friends." Gossip has the power to destroy friendships, break families, and ruin reputations. Many people have lost opportunities, relationships, and even their peace of mind because of those who could not keep their mouths shut. Gossipers do not just talk about what they know. They exaggerate, add lies, and manipulate details to make the story more appealing to their audience. They spread negativity and create division, often leaving the person they gossip about feeling betrayed and isolated. A biblical example of the damage gossip can cause is found in the story of Miriam and Aaron speaking against Moses. In Numbers 12:1-2, Miriam and Aaron talked behind Moses' back, criticizing him for marrying an Ethiopian woman. But their real issue was deeper. They were jealous of his leadership. They questioned, "Hath the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us?" Numbers 12:2. God heard their words and was displeased, punishing Miriam with leprosy. This shows that gossip is not just harmless talk. It is something that God takes seriously. Gossipers often justify their behavior by claiming they are just sharing information or that they mean no harm. Some even disguise it as concern, saying things like, "I'm just telling you this so you can pray for them." But in reality, their words are causing damage. When you allow gossipers into your life, you risk becoming part of their cycle. Today, they may gossip to you about someone else, but tomorrow, you could be their next target. Proverbs 20:19 warns, "He that goeth about as a talebearer revealeth secrets, therefore meddle not with him that flattereth with his lips." To protect yourself, it is important to distance yourself from gossipers. Do not entertain their conversations, and do not trust them with your personal matters. Be discerning about the people you confide in because not everyone who listens to you has good intentions. If you hear a rumor about yourself, do not waste energy trying to defend every lie. Instead, trust that the truth will always prevail. The best way to silence gossip is to live with integrity so that even when people speak against you, their words hold no weight.
Number 4. Manipulators.
Manipulators are among the most toxic people you can have in your life. They are individuals who use you for their own benefit, taking advantage of your kindness, loyalty, or emotional connection to them. They do not genuinely care about your well-being. Instead, they see you as a tool to achieve their goals. What makes manipulators particularly dangerous is their ability to disguise their selfish intentions under the pretense of love, concern, or friendship. They know exactly what to say to make you feel guilty when you try to set boundaries or walk away from a relationship that no longer serves you. They use emotional blackmail, twisting situations to make it seem as though you are the bad person for wanting to protect yourself. A classic example of a manipulator in the Bible is Delilah, who manipulated Samson for her own gain. She pretended to love him, but in reality, she was working with the Philistines to bring about his downfall. She persistently pressured him, saying, "How canst thou say, 'I love thee,' when thine heart is not with me?" Judges 16:15. Delilah knew exactly how to play on Samson's emotions, making him feel guilty for withholding his secret from her. Eventually, after much pressure and emotional manipulation, Samson gave in, revealing the source of his strength, which led to his capture and downfall. This is how manipulators operate. They make you feel as if you owe them something and push you to act against your better judgment. Manipulators often appear as caring and supportive, but their true motives are revealed when you try to stand up for yourself. They may remind you of all the things they have done for you, making you feel as though you are ungrateful for wanting to move forward without them. Some will even play the victim, pretending to be hurt or devastated by your decision to set boundaries. They say things like, "After everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me?" Or, "If you really cared about me, you wouldn't do this." Their goal is to keep you trapped in a cycle of obligation, making it difficult for you to make choices that are best for you. The Bible warns us against such people and encourages us to be wise in our relationships. Proverbs 26:24-25 says, "He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and lieth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart." Manipulators may speak kind words, but their true intentions are deceitful. They do not genuinely care about your growth, peace, or success. They care about keeping you under their control. To break free from manipulators, you must recognize their tactics and refuse to be controlled by guilt. You are not responsible for their emotions, nor do you owe them your peace. It is important to set clear boundaries and stand firm in your decision, even if they try to make you feel bad. Do not allow their words to dictate your choices. Instead, seek God's wisdom and guidance, knowing that He wants you to walk in freedom. 2 Corinthians 3:17 says, "Now the Lord is that Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty."
Number 5. Negative influencers.
Negative influencers are some of the most dangerous people you can have in your life because they subtly, and sometimes aggressively, push you into making bad decisions and turning away from your values. These are the people who encourage you to compromise your principles, take reckless risks, and ignore the convictions that God has placed in your heart. They rarely appear as threats at first. In fact, they often come disguised as fun, adventurous, or open-minded individuals who claim to want the best for you. However, their influence gradually erodes your moral foundation, leading you down a path of regret and destruction. One of the clearest examples of negative influence in the Bible is found in the story of Amnon and Jonadab. Amnon, the son of King David, struggled with sinful desires, but instead of resisting them, he turned to his friend Jonadab for advice. Jonadab, who was described as a very subtle man, 2 Samuel 13:3, did not warn Amnon against his wrong thoughts. Instead, he encouraged and devised a wicked plan that led to Amnon making a terrible decision, one that ultimately resulted in devastating consequences, including his own death. This story reveals how dangerous it is to have people in your life who push you toward sinful or harmful choices rather than guiding you toward wisdom and righteousness. Negative influencers use different tactics to lead you away from your values. Some pressure you directly, making you feel as though you are missing out if you do not join them. They say things like, "Why are you so serious about life? Just relax and have some fun." Others manipulate you emotionally, making you feel like you're being judgmental or too rigid if you refuse to go along with their ways. They might mock your faith, saying, "You're still holding on to that old-fashioned belief? Everyone is doing this now." Over time, if you continue to entertain their influence, your spiritual sensitivity weakens, and what once seemed wrong starts to appear acceptable. Proverbs 13:20 warns, "He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed." The people you surround yourself with will either push you toward wisdom and success or lead you into destruction. It is impossible to consistently make good choices while keeping close relationships with those who are constantly making bad ones. Their lifestyle and decisions will inevitably affect you, even if you think you are strong enough to resist. To protect yourself from negative influencers, you must be intentional about choosing the right company. This does not mean you should hate or condemn those who make poor choices, but you must guard your heart and mind from their influence. If someone's presence in your life is causing you to compromise your faith, neglect your responsibilities, or lose sight of your purpose, it is time to create distance. 1 Corinthians 15:33 clearly states, "Be not deceived, evil communications corrupt good manners." No matter how strong you believe you are, prolonged exposure to the wrong influences will eventually weaken your convictions. God has called you to walk in light, not in confusion. If you want to grow spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, you must surround yourself with people who encourage you to make wise decisions. Choose friends and mentors who challenge you to be better, hold you accountable, and inspire you to stay true to your faith. When you remove negative influencers from your life, you create space for God to bring the right people who will uplift, strengthen, and guide you toward fulfilling your destiny.
Sincerely, I should have learned from what she has done to me, but I kept giving her chances to destroy me. Thank you very much for helping me see the truth.
I'm glad you finally understand. It's time to protect your peace.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.